Hi, it's Ms. Parrott, and welcome back to the AP Biology Equations Explained series. Today we're going to be looking at the Simpson's Diversity Index to help us measure biodiversity. In today's video, we're going to define Simpson's Diversity Index and break down the formula. We're going to work through a couple of examples and learn how to interpret our results. Biodiversity doesn't just measure how many species there are in an area, it's actually helping us measure the health and the stability of an ecosystem. Because the higher the biodiversity, the more stability there is, the more interactions there are among species, and the more resilient that community is to change. Let's look at the formula. So we use Simpson's Diversity Index to objectively, numerically compare the biodiversity of ecosystems. We use it because it's simple, and Ecologists, it's one of the most commonly used indices out there. D is what we use for Simpson's Diversity Index. D equals 1 minus the sum of little n, that's the number of individuals of one species, over big N, the number of individuals of all the species in the ecosystem squared. Again, here's the formula. So if your D values are all going to be between 0 and 1. So a D close to 1 is more biologically diverse, and a D close to 0 is less diverse. But we measure diversity in two ways. The first is species richness. That's the number of different species in an ecosystem. And then there's species evenness, how evenly distributed they are. So say, for instance, you have a species or an area, a community or an ecosystem with lots of different species, but one species is really the dominant, like there's more of that by far than anything else. Even though there are many species, it's going to have a less diverse, it's going to have a lower D value than a species that has a more even spread. Let's work an example. So this is the AP style one where they give you a data table and then you have to work everything out. So let's say we went to an area and there were 4 different species. N, or the number of individuals of that species, is here. We're going to work through the steps to figure out its Simpson's Diversity Index and then interpret. Step 1, compute big N, right, which is the number of all the individuals, by adding up all the little n's. So 20 plus 15 plus 10 plus 5, add that together, that's 50 individuals in the whole ecosystem. Step 2, compute your little n over big N squared for each species. So to do that, you're going to take your little n for each one, A, B, C, and D, and then divide that by big N, which we just figured out was 50 here. And then you're going to square that. Now, if you have a graphing calculator or one of those big ones and you can put all this in one thing, good luck to you. But what I would do is break it down species by species and then add it up to be sure. One way to check to know if your answer is in the ballpark is it between 0 and 1? If it's not, you need to recalculate. So 20 over 50 is 0.4, squared is 0.16. 15 over 50 is 0.3. 0.3 squared is 0.09. 10 over 50 is 0.2. 0.2 squared is 0.04. And 5 over 50 is 0.1. 0.1 squared is 0.01. 0.01. So we have our n over n, little n over big N squared value for each of these. So then step 3, sum, add them up. Right, so we have our summation, that just means add them all together. So 0.16 plus 0.09 plus 0.04 plus 0.01. Again, as always, let me remind you, use the calculator you plan to use on the exam as you practice throughout the year. All right, and that's 0.03. But we're not done. Now we need to plug it into the full formula. So the full formula again is D equals 1 minus this value, which we just figured out. So 1 minus 0.3 equals 0.7. And there are no units to this value. So step 5, interpret. Our diversity index is 0.7. So what does that mean? If we recall, a low biodiversity is going to be close to 0. So between like 0 and 0.3 or 0 and 0.4, that's going to be low. Moderate biodiversity is going to be between, some people say 0.3 to 0.7. Some people say from 0.4 to 0.6, that would be moderate biodiversity. We're at 0.7, so that's like on the high end of moderate. And then high diversity is close to 1. So that's going to be something between, like, that's your honor roll grade. Like, that's something between 0.8, or higher than 0.7 and 1. So we, in our ecosystem, have high, moderate. Why? Because, yes, we have 4 different species, but species A had 20 individuals, which is much more that they weren't necessarily evenly distributed. So where we did have species richness, we lacked in species evenness. Let's look at another example. In this one, you don't have to calculate, you just have to be able to compare. So 2 forest plots were surveyed. A plot is just an area of land. Plot A and plot B, their diversity indices were A is 0.7 and B is 0.3. So which plot is more diverse? This is where you have to know that the closer to 1, the more diverse, the closer to 0, the less diverse. So in this case, plot A is more diverse. And then what could possibly explain this difference? Well, we don't know anything about like the raw data, but we do know that the 2 things that go into Simpson's diversity index are richness and evenness. So what must be true about plot A over plot B? It could have more different species of trees or animals that live in those trees or fungi or whatever. So it could have a higher richness, or it could be a more evenly distributed, the species numbers could be more evenly distributed in plot A over plot B. Now, if you're a teacher or you're just a student and you want to practice, a simple lab would be to take a hula hoop or a square outside and just throw it on the lawn, and you could count in that small area how many different plants is easy because they don't run away, and of each type there are, or you could do insects or other invertebrates, something small, slow, and easy to count. And then you could use that data to calculate D, and you could compare ecosystems, like compare each student's data, or several students go to one area and several students go and collect data from another area. So that's an easy lab application. All right, so common pitfalls. Common pitfalls with SDI, with Simpson's diversity index, include forgetting to square your value, right? You do your n over n and get your fraction, but then you forget to square. Don't forget to square. Using raw counts instead of fractions. So don't just stop at step 1, right? Because if you do that, you'll end up with a value higher than 1. Again, if you get numbers higher than 1, you know you've messed up. Go back and redo. Also, a common mistake would be misinterpreting the D values, like getting which one means high and which one means low mixed up. So be sure that you are practicing that a lot. and not connecting math to biology. So let's think back to that previous question. You wouldn't want to say in your explanation, oh, plot A has a higher biodiversity because its number is higher, and leave it at that. That doesn't connect it to the biological concepts of species richness and evenness. So to wrap up, this is our formula. Diversity equals 1 minus the sum of the number of individuals in a species over the number of all the species squared. A high D value means high biodiversity, and a low D value means a low biodiversity. This concept, this practice, links specifically to ecology, ecosystem resilience, and human impact on ecosystems. If you found this video helpful, be sure to give it a like, click subscribe. Below, leave a comment, a question, or an emoji. And if you're a teacher, check out my resources on Teachers Pay Teachers, all about Simpson's Diversity Index and all the other AP Bio equation explained formulas and everything that you can find on the sheet at Know and Grow with Gnomes. Keep learning, keep growing, and we'll see you next time.